Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I know. I know. Right, not come when you want me, but I'll be there right on time. I'm an on time delegate. Yes, I am. Good morning. It's Delia Jackie Hope Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the Lace legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. Honored to serve. Let's go. It is Thursday, July 2nd. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Do you see where we are? I almost cannot believe that it is July. Wait, January, March, April, May, June. We're in the third quarter of the year, which means we are over halfway through 2026. Yeah, let that sink in. We are over halfway through with 2026. Wow, 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 wow. If that doesn't sink in, uh, but we've got a lot of year left. So I'm really excited about what it is that we can and will do. What it is that we can and will do over the coming months, days, uh, um, years, all the good stuff. So let me do this for you for a second. So first, what I want to do today, we're going to talk about what's going on at the federal levels, particularly with voter protections, what Supreme Court cases have passed and things like that. And then but more importantly, I want to get you guys in the know on what we have going on over the next month. This month is kind of packed. It's kind of packed. We've got a lot of stuff going on for us this morning. I want to say first we have our book club conversation. Be co-hosting this time, right? Co-hosting. If you didn't get a chance to come to grab them by the ear that we had the week or so ago, we're going to be co-hosting a virtual live one. So just like I do the morning dew, I'm going to be doing this one with Delegate Nicole Cole out at the 66th District. She's in, I was going to say Fredericksburg, but I know that's not it. That's Josh Cole. But Delegate Nicole Cole and I are going to be doing the Grab 'em by the Ear, which is still downloadable in all of my links in all the places. It's how to make politicians do what you want them to do. It is short, it is free, it is useful, and it is exactly the kind of thing that we need right now because we do not have time to be, spiritually concerned and but civically underprepared. That is first thing, and that is going to be on July 22nd at 6 p.m. It'll be streaming live just like this. So again, co-hosted with myself, and then we'll have a special guest, a really special guest. So I hope y'all are able to join us. Second, I'll be having my second fundraiser of the year, Prosecco Pastries and Policy. Will be happening July 21st. This is our legislative sort of wrap up in a cutesy kind of way. We're going to talk about what passed, what still needs to simmer, and kind of where we go from here. So Prosecco Pastries and Policies is going to be at Beignets and Brews on 21st Street in Norfolk at, I believe 6. It's going to be posted. So get yourself ready. Fundraiser. If you want to invest in the work that we do, you think we do good work, come to Prosecco Pastries and Policy, or just go ahead and go to the link in my bio and give. Make yourself a recurring donor. That's the thing that helps a lot. People that give that $5 a month, that 10 or that 25, whatever that is, like that helps sustain the work to pay for these apps and all these things that we use. Then, most importantly, we are going to have summer school for certified doers. I'm so excited. If you've been to summer school before, please drop it in the comments. If you have been to a summer school for certified doers, let me know. Like, summer school for certified doers is the thing. Do you hear me? It is all the things. We learn how the bill process works. We teach how you read the bills, how you lobby for a bill. Then we'll build your own bill, and then we'll have our policy pitch contest, which is going to be, I can't even tell you how much I'm excited about the policy pitch contest. Okay, this is your opportunity. I'm still working on bringing other legislators in so that they too have the opportunity to hear your bills and see if they want you to pitch, or they want to pick up your bill. So either come ready with the bill or come ready to learn. That is on Eventbrite. You can join us on that side of thing. Hold on. Yes, I know, one and only Mama. It is fire. It is I'm smitten. I'm smitten. I'm so smitten. Decisions. Okay. All right. So this is your time, right? Remember that. Make sure that you drop stuff in the comments. Questions, comments, concerns. If you've got things going on in the community, drop it in the comments. Okay. Because we're about to get into it. Okay, am I there? I thought I took myself out. Okay. Yep. Drop it in the comments, your activities. Good morning, Mr. Little. Good morning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set my hotspot on, because I know that this likes to play games with us, and I don't want that before we get started. I definitely don't want to have the stream be cutting up. That is not what we want. That is not what we want at all. So looking and seeing. Hello, Ari. Would love to hear how your event went, how everything was. Anyone talking? Yeah. That's what we're on it today. We're on it. We're on it today. And I love this. Look at David James coming in hot. Like, anyone talking about doing a birthright citizens passport drive in case the SAVE Act passes? Oh, I didn't read that correctly. That is a great question. That is a phenomenal question, because we are in this is more serious than I think I feel like we're allowing it to be. So what I want to do is sort of walk through some things. And I know, David James, you're talking about this, and folks may not know what it is that you're talking about. So we're going to go through a couple of things. We're going to go through a couple of things. So I want y'all to hang in there, put your comments in the chat. Let me know what you got going on. I'll make sure that I pause and stuff. But remember, I'm going to underscore as I talk about these things that grab them by the ear. Grab them by the ear is going to be the thing. We have a recorded version that we'll put up, but I need y'all to get, we need to be ready to understand how to make those with power move, okay? Because what we're seeing right now is, it is not something that is random. It is not, just one bill over here, one executive order over there, or one court case somewhere. These things are, quite frankly, all connected. And particularly as, was just, what David James just asked about, which I'll put that back up there for those of you just joining us. Thank you for coming on in. What he's talking about here is the SAVE Act. Now, the SAVE Act, which, God bless, let me, hold on. I forgot what it stands for. I'm going to look it up real quick, because I want you guys to have this in your belly. Because we're feeding each other. Yeah, what does it stand for? But the SAVE Act is actually stalled in Congress. So it is SAVE called, what does the SAVE stand for? If anybody remembers what the SAVE stands for, I've just been saying SAVE Act and knowing that always, the SAVE Act, which stands for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, right? That's what you hear me? This is that knowing the thing. SAVE stands for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. it is currently stalled in Congress. It is absolutely necessary for the Trump administration to advance their agenda to essentially become a single authority government. But here's the deal: even though the SAVE Act, which I'm trying to make sure that I explain it in a way that makes sense. The SAVE Act would require all Americans to prove their citizenship with documentation that is honestly unavailable to millions, and to upend the way that every single American citizen registers to vote. That is full on fact. And so when, just to sort of give you guys an update, when you're registering or updating your voter registration information, we already have to print. It would require this act that is stalled in Congress right now will require you to provide proof of documentation, proof of citizenship in person, and that would be either a passport or birth certificate. The government issued driver's license or the real ID. And if you haven't gotten a real ID, I'm telling you, like, please get a real ID if you can, as well as a military or tribal ID. Those things would not satisfy the requirement to show that you are from here. The legislation would also invert sort of the responsibility to verify a person's eligibility and citizenship status from elections officials, right, to the election folks that we select as election officials, and the government, and onto like every single American, right? You know, making us as citizens have to convince the government essentially that we're eligible to exercise our right to vote. It would also change the way that we register to vote. It would upend all of the online voter registration. It would make it impossible to mail in a registration application, and it would eliminate voter registration drives. That's what this SAVE Act does, right? Safeguarding American Voter Eligibility Act, right? Got it? Just so that we know, when we hear this in the news and you hear people saying save, I don't want doers to be ignorant. I want doers to know what the heck is being talked about. Okay, fair enough? Great. Okay, so now that we've got that at parade and get into the act. Even though at the federal level they've sort of stalled it for good reasons, it's the right thing to do. State versions of the act are moving across the country. The Center for American Progress reported that 14 different states now have SAVE Act laws on the books. 12 of those have passed since 2024. Some require documentary proof of citizenship, like a passport or birth certificate, in order to register or to stay registered to vote. Other states are requiring citizenship verification systems that can force people to prove that they belong on the rolls. And I'm going to hold there, right? Hold what I got there, right? I want to say this as clear as possible. Eligible voters should not have to survive paperwork, a whole obstacle course to sort of exercise their constitutional right, right? That you're already deemed eligible, and that's the crux here. Oh, okay, sorry, I was about to break. Hello, Jeff's mom. Hi, that's my neighbor. Okay, so it's Steph Sewell said the SAVE Act did not get attached to the NDA. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. The SAVE Act has passed the House and unlikely to pass the Senate currently. Yep. This is where we are, right? This is exactly where we are. I want us to think about like who, right? It's not even, it is the what. The what is bananas, but it's the who gets caught up in this. People who, I mean, I would love for y'all to drop it in the comments. Who's going to get caught up in this? The fact that you have to prove you need a birth certificate and your name has to match your birth certificate. Who gets caught up in this? Come on, doers. Y'all know. Let's run it down and why it matters to you, why it should matter to you as an American, right? As a person living in these United States, governed under the laws of this land, right? Whichever one you identify as. If you're here, living here, you're governed under laws and lands. People who change their names, married women, divorced women, older folks, young people, military families, people whose birth certificate do not match the names they use now, folks who do not even have a passport sitting in a drawer somewhere. And I'll tell you something else, democracy, right? It should not be, I'm like processing this because I fit that in so many ways. My daughter fits that in so many ways. It's just, it is as a person who's done a name change. Democracy shouldn't just be easier for people who hold on to paperwork, right? This is a big deal. This is a big, big deal. And I love it. Joanne says so many women, absolutely. One and only Misha on Instagram says women married that changed their names, lower income people. Absolutely. David James says, concerned the Senate might pass it with reconciliation. Not sure that that's possible, though. I am not sure as well, but I'm agreeing here with SS Sidwell. Voters should not have to pay to vote. Requiring a passport or renewing a birth certificate, all of that costs money. This is effectively makes the SAVE Act a poll tax. 1,000% sure. 1,000%. We saw this. And I remember when we were in COVID and we were trying to get folks able to vote and they're like, just mail it in. I'm like, you making me pay for a stamp. Like, we're not going back there. We're not going to go back in any iteration of that. We're not taking baby steps backwards, right? The fact of the matter is that these are not baby steps. They are leaps. And we should be leaping as well. And I'm going to talk about how I think we as the Commonwealth of Virginia have to start protecting ourselves and have to start really looking at how we leap too as these actions are being taken, right? So hold that in your hands. You got the SAVE Act, right? The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. That does nothing to safeguard. Then couple that with what we have happening with the Postmaster General, right? Okay, the Post Service. And I don't know if y'all have heard about what's happening with the Postal Service right now. So the Postmaster General confirmed that under a proposed rule, right, the United States Postal Service would not deliver. I'm going to say this again. Just imagine, close your eyes. United States Postal Service would not deliver mail ballots for states that refuse to provide voter information to the federal government. Right? Like, we're not going to deliver your mail-in ballots to you if you don't give the government your voter information. That proposal, it has already been blocked by courts, including a ruling that the United States Postal Service does not have they don't have constitutional authority to administer elections, right? They're just the carriers of the mail. They don't administer elections, or they don't have the right to administer elections or create a binding sort of mailing rules without Congress, right? Congress has to be the one to say what they can or cannot do. Yes, I know. I'm in shock too. I'm looking at the faces yeah. So this act it's not simply about voting by mail. There is a undertone here, or an overtone in the sense, about whether the federal government, our federal government, can pressure states into handing over election data by threatening to not deliver ballots. We are essentially, they are trying to figure out what they can take hostage. By they, this administration is trying to figure out what they can do to take hostage. I'm going to go to the comments. So much of what the current administration is doing is more than going backwards, all more important for oh, I love this. Thank you so much, Joanne. You're playing into my hands. Okay. Not literally, but figuratively, that is where I'm going, right? And that is why all of this is why state government matters so much. You know, people, they love to talk about Washington like it is this room where democracy sort of lives. And that's not, I mean, it is not wrong, but it is not the whole case, right? It's not the whole picture. Hold on a second here. Let me do this. I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to see all the screens because I love that you all are chatting it up. And please put your questions, your comments. Remember that this is actually your time. So put all your questions and comments in the chat, your thoughts. I would love to chew and process on them as they come along, as they sort of come in. Yes. So what I believe sometimes is that we think that democracy is this thing that only resides in Washington, D.C., but elections are run by states. Let me say that one more time. Elections are run by states. Registrars are local. Poll workers are local. Ballots are printed, mailed, and received, and counted, and cured, and certified through state and local systems. Full stop, right? Through state and local systems. So when the federal government starts to, when they start acting funny about elections, states cannot sit back and say, well, I hope the courts fix it. This is not one of those things. I want you all to take time to hold the 10th Amendment in your hand. And I keep saying that, and I never want to talk to y'all in a way where you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm about to put the 10th Amendment. I'm going to put a definition of it in the chat so we can understand when I say the 10th Amendment, right? So the 10th Amendment is essentially, it establishes the principle for federalism, and everybody say federalism, right? What it says is that that states have any power that's not specifically given to them by the federal government and the Constitution. So these things are not finished. So they're rights that automatically belong to the individual states or to the people, right? That's our relationship with the federal government. It establishes that. So the federal government has these enumerated sort of meaning. It can only do what the Constitution explicitly allows, as like declaring war or coining money or regulating interstate commerce, right? But states also have powers. States have what are called reserve powers, not enumerated, reserve powers. So these are all the day-to-day functions that are not mentioned in the Constitution, like managing public schools, running local police departments, regulating marriage laws, and issuing driver's license, right? That is what I mean by the 10th Amendment. We have those rights as the states, and we need to, and I get that hearing somebody say states' rights can be jarring, but it is altogether fitting and proper that we understand what they are so that we don't cede them. You understand? It's not going to let me, Instagram is like not going to let me put the whole thing in there. My bad. Not the whole post in there, but it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and add it over here. So it just says that it automatically belongs to the states. As I put this in the chat, and I'll sort of look at you guys as look at your comments. here in a little bit because I know y'all got something to say because I would. I would have something to say. Um, let's go back. Yep. So that's what I'm getting at here is that let's do this is that we have powers and it's really difficult to sort of hold on to that hold on to that because we haven't heard states' rights since we were fighting a civil war. Does that make sense? So we as the state we don't have the luxury to just sit back and hope that it's fixed. You know, remember what I told y'all, hope is not a plan, right? A lawsuit is not a whole strategy. Uh, a strongly worded letter does not sort of make infrastructure. And I'm good for I can do a strongly worded letter. We need election protection infrastructure. Every state that believes in the constitutional democratic republic needs election protection infrastructure. And we can already see 12 or 14 states, as I said before, are already in the process of being like, nah, we're not with it. So I'm saying this as a state elected. My job is not just to pass bills when things are calm. My job is to also be thinking about what happens when things are not calm. What happens if the federal government tries to interfere with state-run elections? What happens if mail ballots are delayed, are blocked, are questioned, or used as a pressure point, right? Finding the hostage. That's what I feel like the federal government, and particularly the Trump administration, is trying to do. Well, I won't even say the administration, the Trump administration, and his rule over the House, right? His rule over the House right now. Because he is ruling them by proxy, he's ruling them. What happens if they find the right hostage and they take the thing that takes this constitutional democratic republic right where they want it, into a single authority, right? That is the goal. We have a responsibility here. For me, these are the questions that I'm asking myself day in, day out. What happens if a close congressional district, like the Virginia's 2nd congressional district right here in coastal Virginia, right here in Virginia Beach, becomes the target for a national foolishness because it could help determine who controls Congress. There was a Cook political report that currently rates the Virginia, the 2nd congressional district right out here, as competitive. Ballotopia also says that the outcome could affect the balance of power in the House. That is why we have to think ahead. There are very few competitive House seats. And I've been looking at this idea through with the team of people that are just smarter than me. Let's just be real, smarter than I am, looking at this idea of fiscal sovereignty and election protections. And so for a level of clarity of what that is, this is sort of the worst case emergency framework, not regular politics. And I don't think that we're in a position to be doing regular politics. And it's not like a get back at you, like we are losing and we are mad. What I mean by fiscal sovereignty and election protections is what a state does if the federal government subverts an election, which we have authority over, an election, and then expects the states to keep cooperating like nothing even happened. That if that's an abuse if I ever saw it. I'm going to go to the comments before I talk about the core principles here because I kind of want to see what you guys are saying. Looking. Steph S.S. Sidwell says, I don't think reconciliation can happen. It usually is reserved for budget stuff. And the save not is not budget related. Yeah, we hoping that we hold on to the right admin people in the House, like the clerks and stuff, that'll be able to say nay like they did last time. Good morning. And I love this. Marcelo says, The SAVE Act is a distraction because voter registration is already rigorous. These are facts. Even for a naturalized citizen, the exercise is that non-citizens are voting. Not even green card holders can register to vote, and getting that visa is already really, really hard. Yeah, really, really hard. And now you're speaking from, and that's the thing, the folks that can speak from experience or that understand better than us need to really, really sound off if they can, because it's hard. It can be a challenge for people to, the empathy muscles aren't always strong. But the core, I don't want us to behave like nothing is happening. I don't want Virginia, at a very minimum, to behave like we'll wait and see what happens in November. Because the core question I believe we should be asking ourselves is that if a federal authority if federal authority comes from legitimate elections, what happens when the federal government breaks every process that gives it legitimacy, right? What happens? And so there are a couple possible frameworks. One is that in the event of a certified constitutional crisis, right? Certified constitutional involving the federal election subversion, the state, hello, Virginia, could explore emergency fiscal protections. So it is an emergency. We could put this in place to say that we're in a state of emergency, including whether certain federal payments could be held in a state escrow account until the constitutional order is restored, right? I'm going back to the 10th Amendment, okay? Now, I will be very clear that does need some, needs some serious legal review, whether it's tax counsel, constitutional counsel. There's some folks out there, federalism counsel, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you like I'm saying this like it's easy. I'm just thinking, right? We are just trying to do some foresight and planning. But I am saying that the danger is far too serious for us not to study every single lawful tool available to protect our people and our republic. Understanding that fiscal sovereignty, when I say fiscal sovereignty and elections protection, right? Like fiscal sovereignty isn't only about we're sort of refusing to allow to follow the law. That's not the whole crux is. It is asking whether a state has the duty to protect its residents when the federal government breaks that compact, right? The Constitution is not just, it's not just this feel-good document. It's not just this, it's not a freaking love letter. It is a structure. It is a relationship, a compact that if one part of the structure starts using the federal power to distort elections, then the states have to know what tools they have before a crisis hits. Because if we wait until after November, I am telling you to start asking these questions, we may already be too much in a heap of shit, right? Excuse me, a heap of trouble. Forgive the sailor in me, right? We may already be in too much. It may be already too deep. And I know it already feels too deep, but y'all, like we are far gone. But I am reminded even Germany came up out of their stuff, right? So let's go, right? Looking at the comments here. As I said, so federal government tax collection relies on state cooperation. Absolutely, it does. There's no law that says states have to cooperate. The federal government has to run its own federal government process, including collecting taxes. Love it. Absolutely. And this is one of the geniuses. Hello, SS Siglo. Candace says the federal government only has the power specifically given to it by the constitutions. Any power given to the federal government not forbidden in the states. Y'all belong to the states. This is what we're talking about, the 10th Amendment, right? Absolutely, Candace. Love it, love it, love it. That it helps to maintain federalism and the division of powers between national and state governments. See, I'm going to underscore this as a middle child again, that like I've never thought of state government or politics as a pathway in my life, a path that I would walk down. But I think it's very fortuitous that I ended up in the state government because it is the middle child. I will keep telling you all this. It is the middle child of government. Middle children are essential to good order and discipline. I'm the middle of 5, so just bear with me. Okay, see me, notice me. Don't you want to get to know me? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're essential. We are a bridge. And everybody knows who the oldest is and who the baby is and baby boys and my oldest this. Everybody knows. But that middle child, boy. And that's what the state government is. It's like the forgotten middle. The forgotten middle that has the power to really put us in a way where we are safe, secure, and supported. Oh, I didn't put this on the screen. So thank you, Candace. That was such a great comment. Such a great. I'm laughing because I hear states help out collecting the taxes for the federal government because they're really nice, but it's not the law. I love that. That's a fact. Different subject. I'm going to get to that different subject then at the near the end of the things. I'm looking at some of the one and only Misha said, we haven't heard states' rights since the Southern segregationists used it to fight integration. Yeah, I know. That's why it's hard. And I think sometimes they're counting on us to not say the hard things. Sometimes I think that the folks who are tearing things apart operate in the fact that we have trauma as Americans, and there's certain things we just don't want to say out loud because we think it'll lead to the same outcome, which the things that they are doing will lead to the same outcome. And if we don't, we'll end up in a place where their outcome, which is based in, authoritarianism is based in history. These things are happening. If we get closer to history, we'll understand that a tad bit better. They're walking down the path based off of historical context, and we are refusing a path based off historical context. Right? So, yeah, that is, for me, that's facts, right? So what now? What can a certified doer do, right? What can you do? Number one, just make sure, I would say make sure that your voter registration is up to date. It's one of those things, right? Don't assume, check it. Number two, I would say, know your plan, or, how you're going to be doing this process. Number three, and these are very simple things, I'm just saying, if you vote by mail, track your damn ballot. Do not just drop it and pray, track it. I will underscore number four, we need people to sign up to be poll workers or election day observers if you can. I am certainly worried about what's going to happen at our polls on election day. We have already seen the federal government intimidate. We militia, in a sense, to intimidate. And so, this is where we're at. We've got to have more people there that are willing to say, not today. This republic needs people in the room. Number five, I would say call your state legislator and ask them what election protection bills are they carrying before the emergency happens. And if they're carrying them before and if the emergency is in November, then what are they going to do? Right? What are they going to do about it? Right? We talked about the calling, and we talked about having your power card. Some of you may not have, that was a due before Monday power card, just writing all of your people down, knowing so that you have the email or the phone number. It is okay to just pick up that phone and get on that voicemail and be like, I'm such and such, I'm your constituent. I want to know, I want to know what election protection bills or processes you're trying to help implement before November, and how you will carry it out should an emergency happening. Right? Should an emergency happen. Number 6, I'm going to tell you to read Grab 'em by the Ear, How to Make Politicians Do What You Want Them to Do, because this is exactly what I mean by making politicians do what you want them to do. It is not yelling into the air or doom scrolling or whispering somebody's got to do something, because that's a whole thing. You are the somebody. You are the somebody, right? And I need you in the game. So you can join us on the 22nd with me and Delegate Nicole Cole of the 66th District, or you can go ahead and get to reading this 21-page book that will help you, will temper. Really, what I heard in the room from the folks who showed up is that it really helped them understand manage their expectations about movement building, because we all think it's supposed to happen like that, and that is not the case. Number 7, this is a lot. Do before Monday. Go scroll on my Instagram or wherever you are. You're somewhere social right now. Do before Monday. Your do before Monday this week is a simple. Check your stuff. Make your plan. Send one person a link. Contact your state elected, right? Certified doers, certified doers, certified doers. I am not trying. I will underscore that I am not trying to scare anybody. This is not scare. This is business. I am trying to say this because preparation is what love looks like in public, right? Like, that is public love. And, SS Sewell said it to me the other day. The thing about it is, she said, I think we're severely under preparing. And I can concur with that. We are severely under preparing for what is ahead of us. I'm going to go to comments before I roll out. I'm trying to think of what else do I have. Yeah, hold on. Marcelo says this is, hold on, I'm not far enough up. I'll get to David James. U.S. system was intentionally trying to show is it gonna let me? It might be too long. Oh, there it is. The U.S. systems was intentionally designated so that the power will be divided between the faint. So the idea that no single government, yes, nobody has authority. The structure has benefit, allowing states to experiment with different policies. Absolutely. She's underscoring that 10th Amendment piece, which I love. Absolutely. Marcelo says there's simply no mechanism for non-citizens to register to vote. Too many folks think non-citizens vote. Say that again. There is simply no mechanism for non-citizens to vote, to register to vote. Too many folks think non-citizens can vote. This is why the SAVE Act is so not confusing, but they harp on the thing to distract us. And it's like, it's not even a thing. You're making a thing, it's like a cheating partner, like gaslighting you. Candace says, I remember calling a delegate's office to request a meeting, and I was told I would have to pay. No way. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Wait. That experience stayed with me. As taxpayer, we already contribute. So why should I feel? What? When and where did this happen, Candace? Tell me this is not in Virginia. Please tell me that this did not happen in Virginia. This is not. This is substandard. This is unacceptable. That is not a thing. Please tell me that did not happen in Virginia. I'm going to Instagram just to make sure I've gotten everything. Voting represent. Yeah. Truth be spoken. Thank you for joining us. So to recap, Virginia, no way. If you feel comfortable telling me what office you went to, I would love to know. To recap what we sort of went through today, listen, the United States Postal Service, they posted that ruling on June 2nd, right? That is connected to the president's executive order on citizenship verification and federal elections. So that proposal is going to change that mail-in ballot rules. Who's the postmaster? What is the postmaster? They manage the post office. So Postmaster General David Steiner, he testified at a Senate hearing, right, that they are not going to deliver mails to anybody who refuses to give them that information. If you're just joining us, that is wild. This is a really large sort of crux of who controls elections in America. That is the state federal conflict that we're in, because we are in a state and federal conflict, and we, as states who believe in the republic, have to sort of understand that. That is why it's so important for me as a state legislator to really underscore our state's responsibility. Washington is wild, but I still have to ask the questions about what Virginia can do to protect voters, right? To protect elections. You know, I mean, that is to ensure that our state is participatory in a peaceful transfer of power. I need y'all to understand that this is not a small thing. And this fiscal sovereignty, this idea of really trying to put together a fiscal sovereignty and election protection act. One hand has to, if they strike our hand, we have to strike another, right? And what I mean by that is, like, they are attacking us as states. The federal government has essentially, through policy, through executive orders, went to war with states' powers. And we get to make a choice, right? We can submit to the attack, right? We can lose the war and battle, right? Because I do believe that we're in a place where pushback is absolutely necessary, and understanding what it looks like to be at war is this is what it looked like, war without weapons. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Candace. Actually, I'm so sorry. Actually, you don't have to tell me anything. My apologies, Candace. Like, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm genuinely sorry. No one should have come to their legislator's office and be told they have to pay to see them. That is substandard. It's completely substandard. And I hope that experience does and has since changed, right? I hope so. As a reminder, we've got Prosecco Pastries and Policies at Beignets and Brews on July 21st. On July 22nd, we have Grab 'em by the Ear, the virtual version. You can join us right here. On August 8th, we have Summer School for Certified Doers, all of which can be found on Eventbrite and on the link in my bio, which should be updated. I think I need to go ahead and make sure that happens. I'm looking to, no, she didn't, $250. Was it a fundraiser? Were they inviting you to a fundraiser and said you had to pay? Okay, we can talk offline. I'm sorry. That is wild. I will close by saying this, right? I'm Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer. Pretty sure it's illegal. I'm thrown by what Candace is saying. Yes, as I said, well, pretty sure that it's illegal. I'm pretty sure too. Damn. Yes. I am saying the things I'm saying, not to scare you, but to prepare you. We have to educate, we have to advocate, celebrate, and then legislate. And when the federal government, starts acting like this republic that we have, this setup, this democracy, it's optional, states have to act like it is our job, because it is. Remember that hope is not a plan. And that is why we need election protection infrastructure here in the Commonwealth. OBKB. Yes, I sit on the Privileges and Elections Committee. I am the subcommittee chair for the Elections Administration Subcommittee. I am saying this as we get to hear a lot of laws. We get to hear a lot of laws. And from what I've seen and heard over the past, I think I'm just finished my third year as a subcommittee chair, is this is an emergency. This is not a drill. And we cannot forget who we are and who we are responsible to. Fair enough? Fair freaking enough. All right. Until next time, I'm Delia Jackie Hope Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates in 93rd District. Honored to serve, grateful to be here in the place with y'all. I hope that you all are able to take today and make it great. Please send me an email. Oh, you guys want to see something cool? Okay, let me just, before I go, I know it's actors, but y'all hung on this long. So I want to see something cool. Okay, so I've been working on ways to, I've learned that I love fashion. I love all these different things. I love, I love that Array Biz is like, be a representative poll worker. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, did I miss this? Yeah, okay, got it. I've heard that, but here's what I just did. I go a lot of places, and a lot of times people are like, can I see your nails? Can I see your nails? I'm like, yes, you can see my nails. Okay, but I got this thing, right? I don't know if you can see actually, I'm going to take my privacy screen off. And you'll be like, what, girl? What are you even doing? I'm doing something. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. Stay with me. Okay, here's my screen, right? Here's my screen. So I'm going to take my screen, and I'm going to tap my thumb. And then I do it. Tap my thumb. So I just tap my thumb and look what comes up. My website. Right. It's nail tech. And then let's say I'm going to tap this finger, this one, my pointer finger. And look what comes up. My Instagram. I am officially using my nails as business cards. So if you see me in these streets, you can ask, oh, let me tap your nail, and you can get my business card. You can get my LinkedIn. You can get how to donate to me. You can do all those things right at the tap of a nail. Shout out to my nail tech, Rashawn, who is amazing and always willing to do new stuff and things with me. All right. This is by an artist. This work is by an artist called Pearls of the Ocean, I believe. Pearls of the Sea. I'll have to remember, but it's July. It's a portrait of, and I don't know if you can see this really well. It's Black folks on a beach. And it had this was like a beach umbrella, but it was I thought it was very cool. It had these two sets of Black people with the girls in bathing suits on their necks. And I thought it was very reminiscent of what July actually is. So if you have a local artist that you think would be a good candidate for me to put on my nails, every month I choose. This month I didn't choose a local artist, but every month I choose a local artist and I put their work on my nail as a celebration of the creative economy. I just enjoy talking about other people's work, how amazing it is, but it is sometimes a chore to figure out who's next. Who's going to be next? So you help me out. Tell me if you got a cool artist, send it my way. Okay. All right, y'all. Again, thank you. Until next time. See, we try to make everything. See, this is why I get on my husband's nerves. I'm trying to make everything work. He's like, you work too much. I'm trying to make everything do some sort of work. Yep. Now my nails are part of my nails are my business cards. Now I can have 10 business cards, or I can have one. I got 6 this time. I still got to program the rest of my nails, but I'm excited about it. Yeah. Look, that girl good. That girl, look, just tap. Oh, there's my Instagram. All right, I'm gonna quit humoring myself. But you guys try to make the most of the day. Go write that letter to I don't care where you live. Go and talk to your state elected and tell them, yo, like, what are you doing? Do you believe we're in a state of emergency? Because they just keep bucking up against us and we just can't sit here and look pretty. Sound good? All right, be kind to yourself, drink water, your flower, keep doing because doers get more done. Don't sue me, Home Depot. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Gratitude, honor to serve. See y'all. Oh, David James, I saw your thing about the trash. Got it received. Yes. Got it received. Yes. Actually, I'm going to screenshot it before I go. Any thoughts? I'll go ahead and do it. Sorry. I just realized there was another question outside of that. Any thoughts on the investment in 10 new prosecutors? He won the battle for sure. Seems like something that will attract retailers back to Norfolk. Yeah. So can I say this is that there has been a severe underfunding of Commonwealth's attorneys, right? And what it allows for, there's a justice piece of this that people don't really think about is that sometimes people are going to court and there's not a prosecutor there to say, you know what, no, this charge should not be because it's, misdemeanor or it's, it doesn't rise to the level for that little bit of Commonwealth's attorney. So I would love to, I think maybe I'll try to talk to the Commonwealth's attorney to see if I can get him on the show again to talk about why this is good for why this is a justice forward act. Because I think it's probably important for you all to understand what that means to have those prosecutors and to have people be able to have someone in the room to say, no, we shouldn't be charging them with this. This is, when we're allowing departments to sort of determine what folks are being charged with, and then they don't come with like the necessary representation. It's good to have the Commonwealth's attorney on deck. Okay, I'll do that. And I don't know if it'll help your litter flighting efforts, but we're working on it. All right. Take care, y'all.